Hello, everyone. Well, in classic DAC fashion, we get a patch on a Sunday. On the 1st of December, even though it says it's on the 30th of November, but that doesn't really even make sense in Chinese time. New patch, and this is a pretty big one. There's a lot of really drastic changes, and I wanted to get a video out as soon as possible to speak to you about what has happened and what you should expect in this patch and how it might change how you interact with the game and how you play the game. Because this is one of the biggest patches I've ever seen them do in terms of what it changes. And some of the changes are very obvious and some of them are not as obvious. So we'll get to it. So the first big thing that we have to talk about is the fact that they've added a talent tree. I'll just read what it says and then I'll explain what happens. New featured talent tree unlocks at round 5, 15, 25, and 35. You can choose one from 2 permanent effects on your courier. All talents will be settled automatically round 45. So, this is crazy. So basically, the moment round 5 happens, and you have to remember the first 3 rounds are creep rounds, and then the 4th round is a player versus player round, and then 5th round happens after the 4th round. This means that on your before your second battle happens against another player, actually, you get to choose a talent, and you get to choose your first talent, which will be either Reaper, +1 gold on away home victory. This means that when another player loses to you, you get +1 gold for the rest of the game. Or Penance, +1 gold on home defeat. Whoa. I'll get to the other talents later, but I'll speak about these 2 talents first. +1 gold on away home victory is insane. This makes knowing how to play board and how to win with the board in front of you, knowing how to utilize items, units, and synergies and positioning so much more important than before, and it was already really fucking important. It's even more important now. Think about it this way, for example. So a 10-round win streak, right? That would give you 10 gold for winning 10 rounds. And then roughly 10, 15 gold for the win streak overall, like for the 10 rounds. You have to remember that you begin getting win streak gold after your 4th win, even though the color change happens after the 5th win. So it really does add up. So overall, let's say it gives you 12 gold. Let's say it gives you 15 gold. 10 gold for the wins, 15 gold for the streak. That would be 25 gold, right? And now you add 10 gold on top for the away home victories, because probably if you're win streaking, you're also winning on your opponent's board. That 10 extra gold is quite a lot. And they nerfed eco relics as well. So learning how to play into wins or losses now is even more important than before. Crazy huge change. This also means that priesting is even better than it used to be. Because if you can priest, and if you know how to utilize priest and lose with blink dagger, which you still can, you gain even more gold than you used to. Like, loss streaking is way stronger, which is crazy. This means that more people are going to lean into loss streaking and more people are going to lean into win streaking. So we have the game being even more skewed towards these 2 extremes, which means that understanding the board your opponents are playing, understanding the board you're playing, how to position and how to utilize it the best is even more important than it ever was. Super exciting. Super exciting. For round 15, you can either choose 50% chance to get +1 level recruit. This is the same thing that Elite Recruiter did, but we won't be playing with Elite Recruiter anymore. Or -1 price for owned pieces. This is what Family Discount did, but we're also not seeing Family Discount anymore. It's going to be really exciting. If you want to do reroll, you do Greedy, and if you want to push, you do Ascendancy. How exactly we're going to play reroll with this, or how exactly we're going to push, I'm not sure, but already at round 15, you're making a choice that's leaning one way or the other. On 25, You also get 2 exciting choices. Plus 25% lifesteal on damaging couriers, or minus 20 damage taken on courier. Again, it's leaning very much into one going for lost streak in late game and the other going for more push and tempo. On 35, you get higher chance to recruit IO. I would imagine this is what the IO relic did, so it increases your chance from 0.1 to 1 on IO. Or this one, max courier level unlocked. I just played a game on my Smurf where I got level 14, and basically what this just does is that you can level past level 10 with gold. So I had like 90 gold saved on round 35, and I just leveled halfway to 13, and then I had played 6 humans and I got to 14 in the end. Pretty fucking crazy. These talents are really, really exciting for how the game is going to pan out. We're going to see a lot more people go level 11, 12, and 13. We're going to see a lot more humans. We're going to have to figure out to play reroll with this, and playing board is more important than it's ever been. Really exciting changes overall. Now, there are more changes to go through, because this is not even the biggest change in the game. This is not the biggest change in the game. And I'll get to that at some point. But first of all, let's talk about relics. Relic pool now has only 10 relics and will rotate among seasons. What? Current season relics: Weaponsmith, Curious Guru, Jolas Master Key, whatever you say. Second Chance, Grieval Egg, Magic Seed, Mango Tree, March of the Beasts, Malefic Rapture, and Rambling Fatebender. And these have also been nerfed. Temporarily removed relics: Vault, Family Discount, Shrink Ray, Elite Recruiter, Grace of Nature, Vampire Fang, Shroud of Concealment, Sin Reaper, Monopoly Contract. So I'm not sure if next patch they're gonna change, like, are we gonna lose these 10 and then these 10 are gonna come back? Because one thing you notice here is that Elite Recruiter is kind of a talent, Vampire Fangs is kind of a talent, Sin Reaper is in some ways a talent, and I mean, yeah, how exactly are they gonna do this with the relics? Either way, it's an exciting change, and also the eco relics have been nerfed. I will get to that. I like this. It kind of evens out the board. For example, I do think now that March looks a lot better than it did before. So does Weaponsmith, because these are both tempo, and tempo is more important because of this, because of how this talent works, right? You can utilize tempo even better. So it's exciting to see how we'll be playing with the relics. Then they also have this change. All remained pieces of the same name will be removed from the chess pool on 3-star combination and cannot be refilled when discarded until the monopolist is eliminated. Also a ridiculous change. This means that if you get a 3-star something from Egg, it is just removed from the game. Which is crazy. So even though Monopoly is not in the game, you can super easily fuck over other people that are trying to do the same reroll as you. Shrink Ray sadly not in the game anymore. Rest in peace. I loved playing with Shrink Ray. But if you do go for like some kind of shrink, like you can probably not do like a shrink build, but you could go for like, you could actually fairly easily go for, they actually removed all of the reroll relics. Damn, I just noticed. Discount, Shrink Ray, and Monopoly are out, and Vault. Holy shit. But what you probably would do is you could go Key, and you could do like Elf or Sins. Not Elf, sorry. You could do Sins or Hunter, like reroll pretty easily with this. And then you could actually ban them out from other people. It's interesting. It's definitely going to be a whole different way of playing. And in general, they nerfed rerolling a lot. And they want people to do less reroll and go late more, which I think is interesting. And now to the biggest change, if you ask me. Recruit probability table slightly changed. That is a lie. Details are as follows. So I'm not going to read you all of the stats, but I think what is most important is that prior to this patch, if you wanted to roll for 2 cost, you rolled on 4 and 5, right? Now, if you want to roll for 2 cost, you roll on 6 and 7. That is an insane change. Because that means that if you want to roll for, let's say, faceless 2 cost, right? You won't be doing that on 5 anymore. You work, like, I guess you can do it on 5 and you do it on 35%, but your chance is way better on 6%, right? Pretty huge change. This also means that the tempo of 2 cost is worse, because usually you could roll for 2 cost on 4, right? You began rolling on 4, and then you would finish your rolls on 5, and then you would go 7 to add in Grimstroke, right? Now you can't really roll before you're level 6. So I guess you kind of want to do like humans priest into 2 cost, roll on 6. Kind of weird. So your tempo is going to be slightly later. I guess it probably works out fine, but this is still a really huge change. And also you don't have any relics for it apart from like key. So how would you even do 2 cost comfortably anymore? Same thing goes for something like Hunter Elf. It's also like, do you roll for Hunter Elf on level 6 now? I guess that's nice because you can kind of begin finishing the synergies a little earlier. But then we get to things like Meepo SF, because you can't roll on Meepo for Meepo SF on 6, then you have to roll on 7, but 8 is honestly better for the chance. So do you roll on, I guess you roll on 7, but also realistic to roll on 8? 3 costs Sin, you probably have to roll on 7 for the gold. Gonna be really weird. And again, there aren't any good reroll relics. There's no Vault, there's no Family, there's no Monopoly, there's no Shrink Ray. How are you gonna roll? How are you gonna get 3-star PA without anything to help you? Pretty wild changes overall. Like, rerolling is hardcore nerfed, basically, unless you get key. Key into streak, how would you do it? Key into March and then just sit on gold and hope? It's going to be really hard. Also, no more getting a 4 cost on level 5. So pushing 5 early and maybe getting that lucky Snapfire or getting that lucky Kunkka or, getting that lucky Lone Druid. Nope, can't be done anymore. You can only get 5 costs on level 6 now. So huge. And they also nerfed the chance. Chance of getting a 5 cost on 6 now is 4%. It used to be 7%. That's crazy. This also means that if you want to do 4 cost faceless, you honestly have to do it on 9. You can't do it on 8 anymore. And yes, you can get Ascendancy, and there's a plus 50% chance for 1 recruit level. And I guess you get greedy for any time you want to do reroll, and that does help because your 3 cost pieces actually becomes 2 cost pieces. And I guess your 2 cost pieces cost 1 gold. Wait, that's permanent family discount. Wait, so you do... Oh, so reroll is actually really good with this. Either way, as you can see, this change especially, and these 2 relics, these 2 talents, they're going to change how we play the game in huge manners. It's going to be really, really exciting. I will definitely be doing a meta update in a week or 2, and we'll have to work through what has happened and how it's going to impact the game. But these changes are ginormous, and I want you guys to try and think less about builds right now and just try and play board, because I think it's going to be really hard to play builds for the coming future. Also, another thing I want to add is Sins are going to be back. They buffed PA, I'll get to that, but they buffed PA, but also Sins, like just playing Sin boards with this, that's going to be really good. I'll try and play a lot of 3-cost Sins. This is going to be really nice with Sins. Chess piece upgrades. Fiend script CD reduced. Fine, Bane is better. I think they actually did this maybe in one of the smaller patches. Either way, this doesn't matter too much. Skywrath damage increase. Who cares? I mean, sure. PA attack interval decreased from 1.2 to 1 second. This is huge. This doesn't just mean that she attacks 0.2 seconds faster. This also means that any attack speed items utilize the 1 second attack speed interval. So all attack speed items are better on PA. Huge buff to PA core, which is a huge buff to 3-cost sins. We'll definitely be seeing a lot of PA in 3-cost sins when I play it, and I will be playing this a lot, I think. I think it's going to be really good in the coming patch. I also think with people going really greedy because of this and this and this, playing tempo sins is going to be really strong. Legion base attack damage increased. Sure. This is a buff. I mean, it's one dual win. Doesn't do too much. Lich Chain Thrust. Cooldown decreased from 12, 10, 8, 10, 8, 6. Actually, you know what's a funny change? Lich is purple here. And I don't think they made Lich a 4-cost. But this does make it look as if Lich is a 4-cost unit, right? Because it's purple. And Lich should theoretically still be a 5-cost, which should mean that it should be the golden yellow. But I guess they forgot that they made Lich a 5-cost, which makes sense because Lich is basically a 3-cost unit in how strong it is. Kind of funny. Druid class feature removed. This was in the last small patch as well, and this was this as well. Okay, so they buffed Sage a little bit and buffed and changed the kit. This is good. Buff to Aegis, good. Aegis was the worst for item. Not a huge change. And then to the last important thing I want to talk about in the video. I blitzed over these pots. XP gain from Rapture is now 0.75 rather than 1. That's a huge nerf. That's a nerf by 25%. Crazy. Chance to grow on every round changed from 70% to 60%. Also huge nerf on seeds. Mango tree now drops up to 7 mangoes instead of 8. That is 1 mango lost as well. So they nerfed all of the eco relics. Biggest nerf was on Rapture. This is also going to push the game as well. Like, this is meaning that tempo works even better and winning on rounds is even more important. And also serves to equalize the relics a little bit. Maybe now it might be worth it to actually pick stuff like Kireskuro or Ki. Ki actually is looking really good right now. So is March, maybe even full tempo. Exciting. Egg also, like, all of the relics look better now, which is nice. It's going to be an exciting patch. I will do a meta update in 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah. When you play the game right now, try and play on board. Try and play more Sins. I think Sins is going to be really good with Reaper. If you get Priest early, always lean into Lost Streak. I think that's going to be super OP. Yeah, I'm excited for the game. We'll see what'll happen. I'll catch you on stream, on the videos. Take care, stay kind.